So the outgoing BBC News CEO is insisting the organization is not biased despite stepping down amid a growing scandal over a Trump documentary.
Todd Pyro has the details. That omission, peacefully protest, they forgot to put that in his speech.
Yeah, kind of a key word, Ainsley.
Correct.
Good morning again to all three of you. The British Broadcast Corporation, BBC, getting into some big hot water over this clip of Trump's speech January 6, 2021, featured in a documentary which critics say was misleading because, as Ainsley just alluded to, it left out the president urging supporters to protest peacefully.
Well, it looks like Donald Trump has found his new favorite enemy, and no, it's not CNN this time. It's the BBC. Yes, the same British Broadcasting Corporation that gives us calm, classy anchors and polite interviews is now in the middle of a full-blown Trump tantrum. Apparently, BBC made the ultimate mistake. They edited a video, a 2021 documentary about the January 6th riot, and they left out one very important word from Trump's speech, peacefully. And for Trump, that's not just an editing mistake, that's apparently $1 billion crime. So here's what happened in the original footage.
January 6, 2021, featured in a documentary which critics say was misleading because, as Ainsley just alluded to, it left out the president urging supporters to protest peacefully.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
Trump's lawyers writing to the BBC saying he would sue for $1 billion in damages unless the BBC issues a retraction and compensates him.
I think I have an obligation to do it because you can't allow people to do that. I couldn't allow 60 Minutes. You know, we settled that one for many millions of dollars, and I couldn't have allowed that to take place. They changed the answer that Kamala gave. They took out the entire answer and they put another answer in.
Trump said, "We'll walk down to the Capitol Hill, and we fight like hell. If you don't fight like hell, you won't have a country anymore." But apparently, he also said, "I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard." Now, in the BBC's version, that peacefully part, gone. Poof. Vanished. Like Trump's tax returns or his Twitter filter. So what does Trump do when someone edits a clip? Does he issue a calm, professional correction? Of course not. He threatens to sue them for $1 billion. Yes, you heard that right. $1 billion with a B. Because when Trump gets angry, the numbers go up faster than his golf club membership fees. According to reports, Trump's lawyers sent a formal letter to the BBC saying unless they retract the documentary and pay substantial damages, he's taking them to court. And honestly, imagine being the poor BBC intern opening that email like, "Oh, look, another Trump lawsuit. Just what I needed before my tea break." Meanwhile, over in London, the BBC is in damage control mode. Their spokesperson said they're reviewing the letter and apologized for an error of judgment. "We didn't mean to poke the bear." But now the bear's awake and tweeting again. The outgoing BBC News CEO even tried to calm things down, saying, "Journalists are hard-working people who strive for impartiality," and you could almost hear the British politeness dripping from that sentence. But, come on, this is Donald Trump we're talking about. You can't just say sorry and expect him to move on. For him, this isn't journalism, this is warfare. And of course, where there's Trump, there's Fox News ready to back him up. BBC getting in hot water over Trump's speech in 2021 documentary left out him urging supporters to protest peacefully. Oh, thank God. I was really worried the BBC might get away without a Fox News trial by television. Brian Kilmeade chimes in. Trump's lawyers greater than they should apologize for Gaza coverage and compensate Ainsley says, greater than leaving out peacefully and patriotically. That's the whole point. Lawrence agrees. Exactly. That changes everything because apparently,
British courts
if you just
are
say
notoriously
peacefully
strict
once,
about
it
defamation,
erases a mob
and
storming the
ironically,
Capitol
they
5
don't take
minutes later.
kindly to
Okay,
American-style
let's break this down.
exaggerations. So
Trump
unless
says,
plans
we
to
fight
sue the
like hell.
BBC in
Crowd
Texas,
cheers.
this
Minutes
might just
later,
be another one of
windows
his
are
look.
breaking.
I'm fighting
Officers
back
are
PR
attacked.
stunts
Congress
because
is
every time
evacuated.
he's cornered,
But hey,
whether it's
he also
indictments,
said peacefully
investigations,
once. So it's
or
fine,
election
right?
losses,
It's
he
like
finds
robbing a
new
bank,
villain.
but
And
whispering
this
please
week,
before
it's the
pulling
BBC's
the trigger.
editing department
That's the
as
logic
soon
here.
as news of
Trump's
Trump's threat dropped.
defense isn't
The
about the
internet did
violence
what it
that
does best,
happened.
turn it into
It's about a single
comedy gold.
edited
Twitter
word in
works.
a BBC
Whatever Ellen's calling it
documentary.
this week was
Because in
flooded
Trump
with
world,
memes like
it's never about
Trump suing
accountability.
BBC for
It's
editing.
about
Bold
editing
move
errors.
for a guy
Then
who
Trump
edited
himself
his
jumps
own
in during
inauguration
another
crowd
segment,
size.
saying,
Or
I couldn't allow
BBC
people
should
to do that.
countersue Trump for
60
crimes
Minutes
against
changed
grammar.
Kamala Harris
Even British
answers. They
comedians
put
jumped
another
in,
answer
saying,
in.
Of course,
The
Trump's
classic
upset.
whataboutism.
BBC
When
forgot to
cornered.
edit in his
Always bring up
imaginary
someone
Nobel
else's
Peace
mistake,
Prize too.
preferably
It's
Kamala
chaos,
Harris or
hilarious.
Hillary Clinton.
Political chaos.
Trump's new
A
message
BBC
is clear.
spokesperson
I'm not
finally
wrong.
broke
The
the
media
silence,
is evil,
saying,
it's his
"We
greatest
regret
hit."
the
And
omission
he
of
plays it every
context
time
and will
he's
review our
losing the
editorial
narrative. So
practices
let's talk
are
about
bad.
this
Please
supposed
don't
$1
sue
billion
us for $1 billion.
lawsuit.
They've
Trump's
quietly
lawyers say the
re-uploaded the
BBC must
documentary with
retract
the
the
peaceful
video
line
and
added
compensate
back.
him for
But
defamation.
you know, Trump,
But
that's not enough.
here's the catch:
He wants a
BBC is
public
based
apology,
in the UK,
a
and
correction,
Trump can't
and
exactly
probably a
storm
new
into a
series
London
called
courtroom
The Trump
yelling
Truth
fake
are
news.
airing right
British
after
courts
BBC.
are notoriously
News at
strict
10.
about
This
defamation,
entire saga
and
shows one
ironically,
thing,
they
how
don't take
fragile
kindly
truth
to
has
American-style
become in the
exaggerations.
post-Trump era.
So
One
unless
missing.
Trump plans
Word
to sue the
turns into a
BBC in
billion-dollar
Texas,
lawsuit.
this might just be
One
another one
edited
of his
clip
look.
becomes
I'm
fake
fighting back
news,
PR stunts,
and an entire
because every
riot
time
becomes a
he's
peaceful
cornered, whether
protest.
it's indictments,
It's not about
investigations,
journalism anymore.
or election
It's
losses,
about
he
weaponizing.
finds a new villain.
Outraged.
And
Every
this
side
week,
screaming,
it's the
"I'm the
BBC's
victim,"
editing
but at the
department.
end of the
As
day,
soon as news
people
of Trump's
remember
threat
what they
dropped,
saw,
the
not
internet
what
did
was
what it
edited.
does best:
They
turn
saw
it into
mob
comedy
storm
gold.
the
Twitter
Capitol.
or X.
They saw
Whatever
Trump's
Ellen's
words
calling
like
it
the
this week
fuse,
was flooded with
and no
memes like
peacefully edit
Trump
will
suing
ever
BBC for
erase
editing.
that image.
Bold move for a
Maybe.
guy who
This
edited
isn't
his
really
own
about
inauguration
BBC
crowd
edit
size.
at all.
Or
Maybe. It's
BBC
about
should
Trump trying
countersue
to
Trump
rewrite
for crimes
history,
against grammar.
one lawsuit
Even
at a
British
time.
comedians
But
jumped
as
in,
history
saying,
shows,
of
truth
course
always
Trump's
finds its
upset.
way back on
BBC
air.
forgot
Whether
to edit
Trump
in
sues,
his imaginary
shouts,
Nobel
or
Peace
spins,
Prize
the
too.
footage remains
It's chaos,
that, and so does
hilarious.
reality.
Political
If you enjoyed
chaos.
this
A
breakdown,
BBC
don't forget to
spokesperson
like,
finally broke the
subscribe,
silence,
and ring the
saying,
bell.
"We regret the omission of context and will review our editorial practices. Our bad. Please don't sue us for $1 billion." They've quietly uploaded the documentary with the peacefully line added back. But you know Trump, that's not enough. He wants a public apology, a correction, and probably a new series called The Trump Truth are airing right after BBC News at 10. This entire saga shows one thing: how fragile truth has become in the post-Trump era. One missing word turns into $1 billion lawsuit. One edited clip becomes fake news, and an entire riot becomes a peaceful protest. It's not about journalism anymore. It's about weaponizing. Outraged. Every side screaming, "I'm the victim," but at the end of the day, people remember what they saw, not what was edited. They saw a mob storm the Capitol. They saw Trump's words light the fuse, and no peacefully edit will ever erase that image. Maybe this isn't really about a BBC edit at all. Maybe it's about Trump trying to rewrite history, one lawsuit at a time. But as history shows, truth always finds its way back on air. So whether Trump sues, shouts, or spins, the footage remains. And so does reality. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.